It's done. It's finally done. Stasis is dead, and the Crucible has been saved. I know how you feel. You feel like Frodo tossing the ring into Mount Doom.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
But with Stasis taking a back seat, what subclasses have risen to the top of the food chain? Well, in today's video, we're going to be covering just that. We're going to be talking about which subclasses and builds are worth using. Since this video will be covering a total of 9 subclass trees, along with fun and potential builds, I'm going to keep each section short and sweet, so this video doesn't drag on to 45 minutes. But like always, welcome back to the channel. I'm BraveX0, and I cover everything Crucible related, from PvP guides, tips and tricks to improve in PvP, and I do live streams on the channel. So if you enjoy the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. But without further delay, let's get into the video. Let's start this video with everybody's favorite character, the Hunter. All right, calm down. I know I only started with the Hunters since 90% of the Crucible are Hunters. But with Revenant being nerfed to oblivion, what's the next top tier subclass? Well, starting off this list, we have the Spectral Blades, which is going to be the Middle Tree Void subclass. Now, this subclass used to be at the top of the food chain. It actually used to be broken when it was introduced in the game. But with Stasis coming into the game, this subclass took a back seat. But now that Stasis is gone, the Spectral Blade subclass is going to be your prime rib. What really separates the Middle Tree Void from the other two trees is going to be the True Sight ability paired alongside the Night Stalker Wombo combo. Having the ability to see your enemy's movements through walls and predict their next movements is probably the best piece of information anybody would want in this game. With the top and bottom tree Void subclasses, they're going to be more of a defensive super, as opposed to the middle tree, which is going to be an offensive super. The Spectral Blades, what more can you ask for? It is a roaming super paired alongside the True Sight ability. This super alone can send shivers down anybody's spine. Now, one of my favorite builds with this subclass is to pair it with the exotic Capri Sting. Being able to smoke yourself to activate True Sight, then to land a headshot to activate True Sight again. Essentially, you have True Sight on steroids. With Revenant taking a backseat, why not use a subclass that's super deadly and have the ability to see through walls? Now, moving to the next subclass on our list, we have my Pride and Joy, a subclass that I would defend to the very ends of time, but for good reason. Bottom tree Arcstrider has some of the most ridiculous synergy with almost all the Hunter exotics, but the super isn't something to laugh at. Just look at this. Now, let's talk about synergy first. With the first perk, Focused Breathing, when sprinting, it charges your dodge ability and your max sprint speed is increased. That perk alone goes really well with just a few exotics. Need I say more? But why stop there? With the perk Combat Meditation and Lightning Reflexes, any player who likes to play aggressive isn't punished for taking damage, since Combat Meditation will kick in and charge your melee and grenades when you're damaged. Now, the super does require a little bit of brain power. It isn't a panic super, but as someone who mains Arcstrider, it would be best to activate when you see your radar displaying a lot of enemies. Now, if you're new to Destiny or someone just starting to play Hunter for the first time, here are some quick pointers. When fighting regular Guardians, use your light attack. But when you're fighting other supers, you want to use your heavy attack, since it's a bit slower but deals much more damage. At the end of the day, if you are a Hunter main and sleeping on the synergy that the bottom tree Arcstrider brings, I don't know what to tell you, you're really missing out. Now, into our final Hunter subclass. This was a tough choice. As someone who mains Hunter, I was torn between top tree Gunslinger and bottom tree Gunslinger. What can I say? Golden Gun used to be a meme, but in the current sandbox, it's pretty deadly. As much as I am a fan to one-shot an enemy to the head with a knife, I personally feel like you get a lot of bang out of your buck if you run top tree. When it comes to the Wombo combo, no other class is slept on than the top tree Golden Gun. If you ever wanted to lock down an area, then using your knife and grenade is something that this class provides. As for the super, have you ever missed a Golden Gun shot and just felt bad? You're like, man, I missed it. Well, this top tree Golden Gun subclass will give you 6 shots, so if you miss, that's fine. If you get a kill, you get that shot back. You can really go for those montage moments. If you're someone who likes to main 120 RPM hand cannons, then you know that your reload is slow. But with the perk Chain of Woes, when you land a precision final blow, it increases your reload speed for your weapons, which can pair extremely well with any 120 RPM hand cannon. Getting back into its tool belt, I'm a huge fan of the Wombo combo action. Being able to chunk a grenade and clean up an enemy just with a throwing knife is a pretty satisfying feeling. As for shutting down other supers, it can be done with ease. Don't be that Guardian who sleeps on the top tree Gunslinger. It is a really deadly subclass. Moving in, we have the punchy boys. We have the Titans. Starting off this list, we have Code of the Juggernaut, which is going to be the bottom tree striker. Now, back when Forsaken dropped, this subclass used to be extremely deadly. Then Stasis was introduced into the game, and this subclass took a back seat. But with Behemoth being nerfed, this subclass has risen to the top of the food chain once again. If you've ever wanted a Titan subclass to have a lot of synergy, just like bottom tree Arc Strider, then Code of the Juggernaut's for you. With the perk Frontal Assault, fully charged melee kills grants 20% damage buff. That is a 2-tap with any 120. Then if you pair that alongside the perk Knockout, critically wounding an enemy or breaking your shield grants your extended melee range and increases your melee damage. Synergy right there, guys. It kicks in. But you also want to pair that with the perk Reversal. Melee kills immediately trigger health regeneration. That is nuts. But Brave, what about the super? The super is just as crazy. With the perk Trample, destroying enemies with Fist of Havoc extends its duration. You can see it, as you can tell on screen. Every time I get a kill, it gives me just a tad bit more super energy. With Code of the Juggernaut, what can I say? You can pretty much pair this with any exotic. Dune Marchers work best, but you can get a lot of synergy with the One-Eyed Mask. Moving into our solar subclass, we have Code of the Siegebreaker, bottom tree hammers. If I had to sum up this subclass in any way, think of it as sunspots, health regeneration, bonus damage, and that's what this subclass provides. I feel like when Bungie was designing this subclass, they went really synergistic with all of these perks, from Motor Blast to Soul Invictus to Sun Warrior. Essentially, getting a solar ability kill is going to leave a sunspot. When you pass through that sunspot, you activate Sun Warrior. And when you activate Sun Warrior, you now have increased damage on your weapons. Essentially, if you are a 120 RPM hand cannon main, you can 2-tap anybody. When that perk is active and you get another kill, you'll leave another sunspot. So you can essentially change sunspots over and over and over. But Brave, what about the super? Guys, with the perk Endless Siege, hammers create a sunspot on impact. When you're standing in your sunspots, you throw hammers faster. Look at this. Look at this clip right here. This is a Slayer, easily done with the super. And I did it again. I know a lot of players complaining that Behemoth got nerfed, but at the end of the day, as long as nothing happened to bottom tree striker and bottom tree hammers, I think we're in good hands, guys. Titans will rise up again. Moving into our final Titan subclass, we have Code of the Protector, top tree Sentinel. This class is an offensive and defensive super, regardless if you're in trials trying to cap the final zone or playing control and need the bubble to flag. This super is there for you. But even then, you don't even have to activate the bubble form of it. You can still go on the offensive. With a devastating shield bash and being able to block damage with your shield, this super shouldn't be seen as a bubble super only. But I believe that the main synergy comes within the skill tree. With the perk Defensive Strike, defeat an enemy with this melee ability to create an overshield around you and nearby allies. Final blows grant melee energy when this overshield is active. It's as simple as it sounds. As long as you land a melee, you're going to activate an overshield around you and any nearby allies, which is awesome. Pairing that alongside the perk Rallying Force, when you get a melee kill, your health is going to come back for you and your allies. Now let's add a little bit of Turn the Tide in there, right? Which is going to make your Defensive Strike overshield last a little bit longer and increase your melee damage and reload speed. Essentially, it's going to give you Outlaw for your weapons. But getting into the bubble is extremely deadly. From playing trials to just regular PvP. When you activate this purple dome, you're going to be dropping 3 orbs automatically for every one of your teammates, giving them more super energy. But that's not the end of it all there. When you pass through your bubble, you get bonus damage. You get a 35% bonus damage. Weapons of Light, aka Kill Clip. One of my favorite builds to run with this subclass is going to be the Synthecept. Why? Because you're able to melee a little bit further away, allowing you to activate Defensive Strike much easier. Especially with shotguns, you can fire from far away, break that shield, and jump in with some Synthecepts. We've reached our final character, the Floaty Boys. Starting off this list of our space magic wielding guardians, we have the Attunement of Sky, the top tree Dawnblade. This subclass took #1 spot for a reason. It's extremely high skill gap. The skill ceiling for this subclass is huge. This subclass has it all, from a super that Guardians run from to its abilities that if you mastered can be the difference from clutching around, but most of all, its movement ability gives this subclass an edge on all previously mentioned subclasses. With the perk Icarus Dash, which not only allows you to move around the map with ease, but it's a great movement ability that can get you out of some sticky situations. Have you ever got caught in a dust field? There's no need to worry, you can dodge. Have you ever taken a bad spot? Oh my gosh, enemy saw me. You dodge out of there. Have you ever wanted to break some ankles, get behind an enemy? you can do that. And that's just the dodge ability. Moving into the Warlock's melee, we have this Celestial Fire, which has some of the most intense tracking. If you land this melee ability, you're looking at a total damage of 99, which is great if you're trying to clean up an enemy that's running away from you. As for this super is extremely deadly. It's probably the deadliest super in the game at the moment. You can rival any other super and be perfectly fine because you are in the air and you throw swords to the ground. It's that simple. One of the best synergistic builds that you can run with this is going to be a weapon with Swashbuckler and the Karnstein armlets paired alongside the Celestial Fire. If you're a Warlock main looking for a good subclass, you need to try Top Tree Dawnblade. Now moving in number 2, we have the Attunement of Chaos, the Chaos Reach subclass, aka the Kamehameha. What really landed this subclass in number 2 is its super ability and synergy, but not only within its subclass, but with other teammates on your team. What really put this super on the radar is its ability to cancel your super at any time during its activation, allowing you to save some super energy, and if you defeated any enemies in the process, you're going to be dropping orbs for your teammates, which allows them to get their super much quicker. Now, as someone who mained this subclass for an entire season, one of the best perks is going to be the perk Pulse Wave. When being critically wounded, this triggers an energy wave that boosts yours and ally speed. The perk alone is extremely noticeable, and being able to share this with your teammates is a huge benefit. If you're looking for an amazing build, you can either run this with Crown of Tempest or Geomax Stabilizers. Both are going to allow you to take advantage of this super ability. Now, getting into our final subclass of the video, we have the Attunement of Conduction. This subclass has one of the most deadliest grenades in the game. Just watch. That's pretty crazy, right? That's because of the perk Arc Web, which when enemies are damaged by your grenades, this chains lightning to nearby enemies. The melee also has its own chain lightning ability, which when you melee an enemy, it chains lightning to nearby enemies as well. Now, this super is extremely deadly, but not as deadly as the previous two. And the reason for that is because it comes with a skill gap. You need to become proficient with it first, especially if you're going to be utilizing the super and pairing alongside the perk Ionic Blink, which allows you to teleport during your Storm Trance. Personally, I feel like out of all the Stasis subclasses that got nerfed, Shadebinder is still very potent and powerful in the Crucible, but if you're looking to dabble in some of the older light-based subclasses, do not sleep on the 2 Arc and the 1 Solar subclass. But hey, maybe you used to main Stasis and you love Stasis, now you feel like you're lost in the Crucible. Well, just because Revenant isn't as powerful as it used to be, or maybe Behemoth doesn't have all the benefits that it used to have, don't worry about it. There are some really powerful light-based subclasses that you need to try out. Other than that, you guys are awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, then do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't joined our community Discord, do so now. We're going to be doing some pickup games with subscribers. Other than that, you guys are awesome. It's time for me to get back into the Crucible and work on another video for you. With that, I'll see you guys in the next video.